Elcon is the moniker for Lisa Conway, an ingenious musician, songwriter, producer, and singer currently based in Grey County, Ontario. Originally from British Columbia, Conway has made a name for herself as a member of the band Del Bell and for 3 lovely, boundary-pushing, danceable pop Elcon records, including her latest album, Insecurities in Being, which is available now via Wildlife Sanctuary Sound. Though she normally fronts a band, Conway showed up at the CFRU 93.3 FM studios in Guelph a couple of weeks ago with just a bunch of gear, and she and I engaged in a live-to-air conversation that delved into some serious subject matter, and she performed a few of her newest songs as well. With in-kind support from Pizza Trokadero, The Bookshelf and Planet Bean Coffee in Guelph, Grandad's Donuts in Hamilton, and Planet of Sound locations in Ottawa and Toronto, and of course, flexible monthly pledges by listeners like you at patreon.com/creativecontrol. This is the 403rd episode of Creative Control, featuring Elcon live on CFRU with your host, me, Vish Khanna. Hi, Lisa. How's it going?
It's going really well. Thanks, Vish.
It's nice to have you here at CFRU with all your gear.
I don't travel light.
You don't travel light? What do you got in there, by the way? What's going on?
Too many things. Too many things. I don't know. I've got like a little Ableton rig, but then also a guitar and a heavy amp and some pedals. Right.
So it's too many things, but not that many people.
No.
Normally, you would have how many people with you for something like this?
It varies. Lately, we've been playing as a 5-piece band, but it's just me today. Yeah, well, it's enough. If I might say, it's enough just to have you here. And by the way, congratulations on this new record, Insecurities in Being. You must be very proud of yourself. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'm happy that it's released. A lot of work went into it. Yeah, I'm just glad that it's out there. Yeah, and it's being received very well. And as we're speaking, it is the #1 album here at CFRU. So it is getting it's getting a lot of love here, and I think justifiably. We're going to talk about the record and you as we go, but we're also very lucky because you brought all that stuff, and you're going to play some songs for us, right? Yes. So do you want to begin by playing the first song of this performance and letting us know what that song might be? Sure. The first song of this performance is a song called Cogs Awry, which is on the new record, but a song that I've been playing live for a number of years. All right, this is Elcon with a live performance of Cogs Awry.
who must I thank for this? Lock me up when necessary.
Live on CFRU, that was Elcon with Cogs Arrive from the beautiful new record, Insecurities in Being. Lisa, that was wonderful.
Thank you. I think my amp is very buzzy, so
it was a little
that
buzzy.
Was like a cool new.
I think your amp is a lot like you, and that you are also buzzy around here these days. #1 record and all, you know.
Yeah.
Everything's got to be buzzy. That was really great, and I have to ask you about this lyric that you repeated because it's something that resonates with me these days. Lately, I'm trying to find the answer to being all right. Where did that come from, so to speak?
Came from the universe, I guess. I don't know. It's actually a line from a song on my last record, Moon Milk. In the song The Dinosaurs, I sing that line, or that lyric is part of that song. And when I was in Belfast doing my master's, I was playing this song on the piano, and it just kind of happened and stuck.
You mean the lyric happened?
The lyric happened, yeah.
Huh. Okay, but it obviously speaks to something within you.
Yes, I mean, I think a lot of this record and a lot of existence is just trying to navigate being a human. So I think I'm always trying to find the answer to being all right.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I have to say I'm with you on that one. I don't think you're alone there either. You mentioned you did a master's in Belfast. That's interesting. What were you studying there?
I was studying sonic arts. I have a master's in sonic arts. Sounds like I'm a magician. But yeah, I was very lucky to receive help from the Canada Council to do a master's over there.
So you're a master's in, it's not in music per se, it's in the sonic arts generally.
Yes. It was a pretty open program, but sound art studies kind of encompass like soundscape studies, installation work, electroacoustic compositions. Like my thesis piece was for 32 speakers and using samples of a really old synthesizer. But yeah, a lot of talk about sound and qualities of sound and manipulating sound.
That's cool. So where did that interest develop? Where are you from again?
I grew up near Smithers, BC, which is in northern BC.
Right. And so you got into, is there anything about Smithers that place sounds nice. Just the sound of it, it just sonically sounds like it would be a nice place to live.
It is. It's a very beautiful mountainous valley. There's a lot of music and art there, which was definitely a big part of being here right now. I think I've always been excited about sound and production, and it's never really been kind of like a separate thing for me with songwriting. It's all kind of the same, just being excited about sounds and being excited about putting sounds together. And sometimes they're in a song form, and sometimes they're in a weird instrumental synthesizer piece or field recordings or whatever.
Right. So how far away is Smithers from like the nearest metropolis?
Smithers is about a 13-hour drive north from Vancouver. The closest big city, I guess, would be Prince George, and that's like 70,000.
Right.
So it's pretty isolated. I was very lucky to have a fiddle mentor. I was a fiddler growing up. And Oliver Schroer, who is from Toronto, started teaching fiddle camps in Smithers, and he was kind of pretty important piece of my eyes and ears being open to new sounds and new ways of writing music, and is the reason that I moved to Toronto.
Wow. Well, Oliver was a tremendous force, and I got to interview him a couple times, and he passed away, unfortunately. Were you at his final concert by chance?
I was crying the whole time.
Yeah.
I felt really badly for the people beside me because I thought I would be okay, but like literally the first note I started crying, and I cried the whole time.
It was very difficult. This was, I believe, it was at Trinity St. Paul's, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a hard show to be at on some level, but it was also
beautiful,
very beautiful and inspirational. And I did not know that. I didn't know that. That's, we would have been probably some similar rooms at some point in our lives, but I had no idea about this fact.
Yeah.
And you and I have known each other quite a long time now, and this has never come up. So it's another.
This is why we do these podcast interview things.
Exactly. It's true. So I asked about Smithers and its relative location because I assume you didn't have access to people coming through town and playing shows necessarily, or is that wrong?
Yes and no. Like, there's a folk festival that happens there, the Midsummer Music Festival, every year. It's still going. So definitely exposed to a lot of like hippie folk stuff. I didn't really, I hadn't heard Radiohead until I moved here. So I kind of had a lot of catching up to do sonically.
Wait a minute, you had like radio and TV.
I didn't have a TV.
You didn't have a TV at all?
I didn't have a TV at all. My parents were hippies, and so I didn't have a TV, which is probably why I started writing songs, because I lived in the country and I was super bored.
So you don't have like certain cultural references. Like if I say to you, Uncle Philip Banks, do you know who that is?
I don't.
That is the patriarch of the TV show Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, I missed a lot of stuff.
You didn't miss much with that show. Not a great show.
But I can't finish a crossword puzzle, probably.
Right. Does that feel like does that ever get you down, that you don't have
this? A bit, yeah. I guess it did a bit. I don't know. I just missed a bunch of that stuff, and yeah.
But don't you find these days that it maybe doesn't matter? Like, I mean, do you keep up with culture now, or is
yes.
that you do?
Yeah, I'm up with TV now. Yeah, I think it's interesting because there's a lot of bands that my peers really enjoy just kind of through nostalgia that I kind of missed, and I feel like I might never enjoy in the same way because I don't have the nostalgic memories.
But that's
attached.
Think about all the storage space your mind has in it that isn't cluttered by all that stuff.
It's true.
Like are you nostalgic for anything from your childhood in terms of a cultural thing? Like, do you you didn't watch TV.
I didn't watch TV. I don't know. Like, I grew up on a small piece of land, and my parents are like big gardeners. I guess my mom's from Switzerland, so I have like some Swiss kind of like memories of going to like the Swiss picnic and hanging out with a bunch of Swiss people.
You know what's all the rage now? Swiss chard.
Is it?
Everyone's talking about Swiss chard all the time. Yeah.
I feel like that's old news. Like, I knew.
Well, you would know it because your mother's Swiss. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, she grew it.
She grew it. Now you can't go anywhere without someone trying to offer you some Swiss chard. It's just the way the world works.
I thought kale was trending.
Yeah, kale's kind of trending downwards now. Now it's all about the Swiss chard. Just leaves. We're just eating different kinds of greens and leaves. I think it's important. Yeah. Well, that's fascinating. I had no idea about this. Well, I want to talk more about you and your work, but I wonder if we should go to another song from this record, Insecurities and Being, and see where that takes us. And I wondered if you can let us know what you're going to play.
Okay, I am going to play a song called You Are Right, and that's, I guess it was the first single from this record, mostly written on a synthesizer borrowed from somebody in Guelph. So that's a cool Guelphin.
Do you want to actually name check them, or is there some controversy?
Sure, no. My friend Clayton spends a lot of time at garage sales and on Kijiji, and he lent us a synthesizer called the Sin Key. I think it's from the 70s. It's very rare, and I think he was hoping that we would buy it, and I feel like I really should have. But I didn't have the money, and now it lives in Brooklyn.
Oh, it's in Brooklyn?
It's in Brooklyn, yeah. He found somebody that would pay what he wanted.
Right, but it's on your record.
It's on my record.
Okay.
But it's not in my life.
Right. So the ghost of the
ghost of the Sin Key. Okay. This is a sad song.
Oh, man. All right. This is You Were Right by Alcon, happening live at CFRU. Live at CFRU, that was CON with You Were Right. CON is the a master of the sonic arts, as you could hear there, and that was remarkable. Lisa, great job.
Thank you.
That song, I have to say, was a little weird.
That song was weird?
Did you not think it was a little strange? It seemed to, at the end there, it flickered, it did all sorts of strange things.
Yeah.
Like I thought there was a beat, and then there wasn't a beat, and then there was like weird synthetic sounds coming in and out, and it made me uncomfortable in a good way. But
okay, well that's good.
It stirred something.
You made me worried.
No. I didn't mean to disparage it. I think weird is good.
Okay.
You seem to have an approach to pop music that is on a slightly askew, slanted. Like it's not like that could be construed as like an electro pop song, right?
I'm trying to make pop music. It's just not working.
Why is that? And what's wrong?
I don't know.
Do you actually want to make pop music?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm just making stuff. I'm never trying to be intentionally experimental or weird, I guess is what I want to say.
Yeah.
I want everybody to like my music. I'm not trying to.
There's no reason why they wouldn't.
Obscure.
Right.
I guess a weird thing about that song is, and a weird thing about learning how to play it live, is that I wasn't like I was actually like playing that on an analog synthesizer, and it wasn't exactly. I was adjusting the speed in real time rather than like looping things on a grid, so it's kind of out of time, which I think gives you an unsettling feeling, or it sounds different because it's not totally in.
Yeah.
But it makes it hard to like map it to a grid in Ableton. But yeah.
Does this seem to reflect any unease or shakiness in life these days? We were talking about Cogs Awry earlier, and even the title Insecurities and being sent. There's something is being conveyed here, I think, and kind of like an off-kilter sense of things, like emotionally, maybe even. Do you have a relationship with stability these days that has surprised you in some way? Not to get too deep, but I'm just curious.
This is live radio.
It is.
Yeah, I guess I'm always been the type of person that feels like a little bit lost all the time, and I like to be honest in the music I make, but the time that we're living in kind of seems to ask for extra honesty.
Extra honesty?
Maybe, I don't know. It's just the world's kind of crazy right now, so I felt like I needed to be more open than ever. But at the same time, even though like the record deals with a lot of insecurity, and honestly all my records do, this is nothing new for me, it feels very confident production-wise to me.
There's a lot of pronoun use in a lot of the songs. We just heard You Were Right. I'm thinking of the song Try, which is the first song on this record, which has this accusatory tone, but I can't.
Really?
Well, maybe. What do you think?
I hope that it doesn't. Like, I hope that it doesn't seem bitter or accusatory.
Well, maybe that was just my reading of it. Maybe that's my own sensitivity. But there's this sense of outspokenness, let's say, on this record. You say you were trying to make an effort to speak out more, and I assume it changes from song to song. Is that a general feeling on the record, that you're just trying to be outspoken about various things?
Well, it's not. It's definitely not I don't want to say that it's like a political record, and it's not being. I don't know if I would use the word outspoken. It's just I'm trying to be. I'm a very shy, introverted person, and I'm trying to be more open than I have previously.
Right.
In terms of where I'm at. But a lot of the songs I'm singing to myself. So, like, Try, the you in the song is me.
Right, that's what I was getting at. I wondered if some of these pronouns were you.
Yes.
Sorry, the pronoun use of you was actually you, Lisa, master of Sonic Arts.
And it's supposed to be more like of a pep talk or
right.
like get your act together.
Right. You're sort of objectively talking to yourself.
Yes.
Via your songs.
Yes.
Okay. Are you not getting enough support from your friends and family? Do you need more help? I think you're great.
No, I'm doing well, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a weird, the world is pretty wacky, and it's hard to know how to feel.
Do you want to home in on that a little bit? Just the world as a whole is wacky and hard, and I agree with you, but hard to know how to feel that's a bit more complicated, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's I don't even know where to start on that, but
like, do you feel this artistically? I think a lot of us feel it just living our lives every day now, but do you feel like it's strange artistically? It's a strange sphere to be in, even?
I guess like songwriting and making art is a pretty indulgent endeavor in a lot of ways, which I kind of struggle with too. Like,
yeah,
it's in some ways it's a pretty selfish pursuit. So yeah, I mean, even with making this record, it's like, why am I putting out something like this? And why am I making another record right now?
But is it selfish to make something and share it with everyone?
I guess not, but is this, like, hopefully, I can only hope that these songs move people, and the fact that I think an important thing for me was having my name on the recording and production credit of this record, so just on the off chance that there is somebody that isn't a dude that wants to record a thing and feels more confident by the fact that somebody that... Yeah.
No, I hear what you're saying there. That makes sense. Now, my understanding is in the process of making what came to be Insecurities and being... You had initially just planned to make an instrumental record. The words weren't quite there. The lyrics weren't coming. Is that right?
Yeah, I guess I didn't know if I wanted to make music anymore at all. And I thought that making an instrumental record would be kind of a nice change and break. But then I just started singing over top of some of the things, and then it wasn't an instrumental record anymore. Now,
was the instrumental impulse because... Have you done other kinds of instrumental work, soundtrack work, scoring, anything like that?
Yes. Yeah. I guess in school, most of my work was instrumental scoring and stuff for dance, and I really enjoy it, but I guess these things just wanted to be songs, so I let it happen, but I still am working on some instrumental things. I'm recording, we have a pump organ at our studio, which I'm trying to make a piece out of.
Right.
Sounds pretty cool.
I know it was probably a period that maybe stretched on weeks or months, but can you describe, to your recollection, the point where it went from I have nothing to say, these are going to be instrumental pieces, to all of a sudden there are words for these pieces? Like, was it a conscious decision, or did they just sort of appear? Like you suddenly, wait a minute, I have things to say here, and they work with these pieces. Like, I don't mean to get into where do your ideas come from?
Yeah.
But that's striking to me that your intention was sort of supplanted by something. Something happened and you felt compelled to say something. And I'm just curious if you can even speak to what sparked that.
I don't know. I guess some of the demos I started singing over top of, and kind of a process that I use, and I know a lot of other songwriters use as well. I sing a scratch vocal, just in gibberish, and without words at all. But usually that's kind of awkward to keep like that, because I'm not like Sigur Rós. I can't pull that move. But yeah, I guess once the scratch vocal was laid and I was attached to the melodic element that my voice added, I kind of just had to kick myself in the butt and figure out what I wanted to say from there.
Okay, so there wasn't...
there was no epiphany.
There was no specific incident or instance that inspired you to write in this particular way of giving yourself... It sounds like a lot of this is giving yourself some sort of affirmation, like getting you to do stuff yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Snapping yourself out of some kind of...
Yeah, because honestly, for me, writing music isn't therapeutic. It's what kind of brought me through this record and made me excited about working on music again was thinking about the production, thinking about how I was going to make the drum kit, thinking about that kind of stuff, just starting in a very practical way.
Yeah, we should, don't let me forget, I want to go to another song shortly.
Sure.
Because they're great and I want to hear more of them.
Thank you.
But we should talk about Wildlife Sanctuary Sound, which is the studio you co-operate, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so don't let me forget that.
Okay.
But let's go to another song right now. What would you like to play?
I would like to play a song called The Art of Staying Tough, which is actually...
Wait a minute. How are you going to do this?
Well...
I guess we're going to find out.
Yeah.
The reason... Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just was like, wait a minute. This has a guest vocalist on it.
It does, which was what I was going to say. This song has a guest vocalist on it. Somebody tweeted at me, actually. They're like, I like this song the best on the record. I was like, thank you. That's flattering to me as a songwriter, but it's also the only song that I don't sing on my record. Yeah, I've kind of reclaimed this song, but I did write it, so I'm allowed to sing it.
And the original vocal is by a producer and vocalist named Casey MQ, right?
Yes.
From Toronto.
Yes.
Right, and Casey is very gifted.
He is. He's annoyingly gifted.
Annoyingly gifted. That is a good way of putting it, yeah.
He's one of those.
Okay, so you're going to play The Art of Staying Tough. This is from the new Alcon record, Insecurities in Being, and it's happening live on CFRU.
What will you do once you've found it? And they see who you really are. There's all this weight, you're surrounded. This heavy heart won't go far. Maybe all you need is some time to yourself, till you learn the art of staying tough. There's no poetry till you find it yourself, even when your insides are crumbling and the wise have ditched the fool they've been inspiring, even when your insides are crumbling and you're outside all alone. You can laugh, you can cry. Take the road less traveled, fly until the dirt. Maybe all you need is some time to yourself, till you learn the art of staying tough. There's no poetry till you find it yourself, even when you're inside to crumble it in. And the wise have ditched the fool they've been inspiring, even when you're inside to crumble it in.
That was The Art of Staying Tough, performed by CON. That is from their new record, Insecurities in Being, and that happened live at CFRU. Lisa, another lovely performance.
Thank you.
Didn't miss Casey at all, if you ask me.
Sorry, Casey.
Yeah, you
taking it back.
Just took it back. That was
maybe I'll release a new cover of me.
A cover
covering, yeah.
So as you were singing that song, and I was thinking about our conversation up to this point, and I wondered if you think that maybe we are collectively sometimes a bit too hard on ourselves. That strikes me these days. I feel like there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of anxiety. Mm-hmm. I sometimes think it stems from the fact that we're just a little too tough on ourselves.
Yes, I would agree. Yeah, I definitely agree. It's tricky as an artist, I guess, because I'm excited about this record, but I've also had to, like, in the last 2 months, deal with a lot of people telling me, just in the process of being an independent artist and like trying to find blogs to premiere things and getting feedback that is hard to swallow sometimes, where people think that your music is boring or not worth posting. So it's just an ongoing journey in toughness, but yes.
So, I mean, this is a song that speaks to that impulse. Do you have anything to impart about, I don't know, methods that you've come up with to deal, like this is what your maybe your third full-length record, really, or?
Technically my third is CON, but I've made a lot of things under other monikers, so I think I'm like approaching a dozen, to be honest.
Is that including?
Been a lot.
That includes your work in Del Bell,
yes,
and other things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you are a veteran.
I'm a veteran.
You are not a rookie that is
no.
Suddenly like, what? Rejection? I don't know what this means. You've had both success and rejection on some level.
All the time.
Right. So back to my question, as someone who is now a veteran.
Yes.
Do you have advice? Do you have tactics that you employ to kind of navigate the stuff that comes with putting something out into the world these days? Because yes, you get some praise, you get some neglect, you get some criticism. Like, what do you do to deal with that?
I've just realized, and it's a bigger thing than just my work as an artist, but the people are the most important thing, and your community is the most important thing. And I don't know, being a part of things like Kazoo Fest and just even doing something like this, like that stuff is the stuff that's the most important thing and what will keep you grounded. It's very easy to get caught up in the internet stuff, but the human IRL stuff is the important stuff.
It is. It strikes me, and it's something I think about all the time, that I get riled up by some nebulous, anonymous, I don't even know if it's a real person sometimes, like someone might say something that I've never encountered that person before, and yet I'll go out to a show or I'll go to Kazoo Fest and I'll feel love. Like I'll feel actual people, like people actually saying whatever. It could be criticism too, but you're actually hearing from people. And
yes,
we're so used to being, having opinions foisted on us by our machines that it's put us in a strange place in terms of processing such things.
Yeah, and we're not very connected anymore, I find. Not as much as we need to be. Like Instagram, it for sure is really, all social media, I know it's not healthy for me, but it's kind of a part of the game, unfortunately, with being an artist. But
isn't it a part of the game being a person these days?
Yeah, and that too. But
like I heard your dog died, so I made a sad face on your social media platform. I didn't call you. I didn't reach out. That's weird.
Yeah, or I don't know. I've talked to a lot of friends that on Instagram it seems like they're living like the dreamiest life, but are actually super depressed and lonely.
Right.
But don't reach out.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Because you feel like you're putting something out in the world, and that feels like a form of connection, but we're not really.
No.
Like they are. Yeah.
It's a performance.
It is. It's all a performance now. It feels like there's artifice there. It's strange. It's a weird thing. This got to be a heavy talk. I think it's like more so than I was maybe expecting. The studio. You're in the green screen Dream Machine studio. I think I'm the only one who calls it that, by the way. But I don't know if there's an official name.
Yeah.
But so people watching this on YouTube are seeing probably all sorts of magical things happening around you, and yet here we are having this very serious talk, which I think is fine. I think that's the way of the world as well. Now, this record, Insecurities in Being, was released by Wildlife Sanctuary Sound Recordings.
Yes.
And I need to know more about what that means. And as I was saying earlier, how that follows with your work as an engineer and a producer, as someone who runs their own studio. I believe these things are connected. Can you expand upon this?
So what that means is that it sounds better to have a name of a record label instead of saying independent.
Right.
The label is still just me and I guess Andrew.
Andrew Collins.
Andrew Collins.
Very gifted musician.
One of those annoyingly gifted people.
One of the most talented. Yes, one of the most talented, underrated musicians and songwriters and guitar players and multi-instrumentals. Just annoyingly amazing at everything he does.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating.
No, but you're in cahoots. You're partners in crime, right?
Yes.
Right.
We are in cahoots, but I feel like this is turning into a gush fest about Andrew. But,
well, I wish he was here. I miss Andrew, and
he better listen to this.
Yeah, hopefully he does. Yeah.
But we have a studio together, about an hour north of Guelph, called Wildlife Sanctuary Sound. It's just been like a slow burning, ongoing project. We just are slowly accumulating gear and have wonderful people pass through. And I recorded everything on the record up at the studio myself.
Now, I think you alluded to this earlier. Your impulse at some point in your musical trajectory was to learn more about how to record things and how to capture them.
Yeah, I've been recording, I guess, since I was 13. But until recently, just kind of felt like I was just making demos and didn't feel confident enough to actually call myself an engineer out loud. But yeah, it's been a long haul.
Do you feel like, I know we've talked a lot about confidence and asserting yourself and all these things. Are you feeling better about that stuff since the release of this record and how it's been received and even putting some of these ideas and thoughts into these songs? Like, are you feeling more confident now?
Yeah, I am. I mean, as a human, I'm always up and down, but yes, I'm feeling more confident technically for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, like even just going to things, workshops where you being in situations where you think you're not going to know everything or anything, and then realizing that not everybody knows how to use Pro Tools or record a thing is helpful for confidence.
Well, lest anyone think that you are some, totally under the radar, shy person that is whatever. I just want to read some credits here. You were selected to be part of the renowned Red Bull Music Academy in Berlin, which is happening this fall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah, they're flying me there, which is really nice.
There you go. You've been nominated for a SOCAN Songwriting Prize. And it says here that occasionally, shyly, you will reveal that your high school band was nominated for a Canadian Folk Music Award for an album that was self-produced and recorded. So you're not... You know what you're doing. Other people think you know what you're doing.
Yes.
You're not on some deserted island on your own sending, your songs out into the world via, bottles.
Feels like that sometimes,
I know.
But yes.
Yeah, but you're not alone in feeling alone either.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people have imposter syndrome as well. I don't know if you ever get that.
What do you mean ever? I have it constantly.
Exactly. So it's a case of imposter syndrome, and then I guess also a case of, be it like studio environments. I've been very lucky to work with some very lovely men who are feminists, but studio environments typically are kind of a bro scene.
Yeah.
So I've just felt like I've had to like extra prove myself in every way.
Right. So we've talked about how you've established yourself and asserted yourself. You just alluded to the feminist bros. Or no, the feminist men. Can you maybe cite some of the people that helped you make this record?
Yes. Well, my partner Andrew Collins, who we had a gush fest about already, plays a number of instruments. Long-term collaborator Jordan Howard, also Guelph royalty, plays guitar. Karen Ng, who's like my favorite saxophone player in the world, and such a lovely human, plays clarinet and saxophone. And Johnny Merritt, also from Guelph, plays drums. And then his dad, I mixed the record with his dad, Scott Merritt, in Guelph.
Nice. And did you kind of bring Johnny out of retirement, so to speak?
Yeah, I did. I think he's back in retirement, though.
Oh, no. He won't play with you?
Well, he's having another child.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, which is really exciting. But he's kind of focusing on family stuff.
You know how old this makes me feel? I used to drive Johnny. When Johnny was in a band called the Bar Mitzvah Brothers, he was like 14 years old, 13 years old. I don't know what he was, but maybe younger. He was playing drums in a band, and I would be the driver. I would drive them around Ontario. Yeah. And now you're saying he has 2 kids.
Not yet,
he's about
but
to have,
almost.
That's
yeah.
a remarkable thing.
Yeah. Well, he's like 30-something, right?
No, I know how time works. I know he's old enough to do it. I'm not saying he's 13 having 2 kids. I just think it's weird. It
is weird.
Strange to hear. Well, it's a remarkable assortment of people, and this is a wonderful, wonderful record. So congratulations.
Yes.
on
it. Casey as well, I guess.
Oh, yes, Casey MQ, yes, who we've already kind of gushed about as well. Now, where can people learn more about you and this record?
People can learn more on that dreaded internet. elconofficial.com, and I recently changed all of my social media things to be the same because I'm organized like that.
You are.
So it's all Elcon Official everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, all the stuff. I'm not lying on Instagram, but I'm probably like not looking as cool as I'm trying to seem on Instagram, but still follow me. And Bandcamp, iTunes, Spotify. Add me to your Spotify playlist, please.
I appreciate your candor, and I appreciate you and your work. So thank you for spending time with me today. I thought we would end the show with one final performance, if you can.
Sure.
Do you want to play one more song? What do you want to play?
I will play There Was a Glow.
Okay, There Was a Glow. This is the second song on Insecurities and Being. Is there anything you want to say about it before we hear it?
I don't know.
No?
Oh, there's Twin Peaks references in here.
Oh.
My diction is bad, so you probably won't catch it.
Well, no, I think we will. All right, look out for that. This is There Was a Glow by CON from Insecurities and Being. Lisa, thank you so much for being on the show,
Thanks
and best
for
of luck
having
with
me.
everything.
Yeah, thanks.
Keep floating, fine. There's no secret to what it is and what it's meant to be. I don't understand. There was a glow in the sky, shifting the slide, and the boat capsized, stirring the sign. Fetch your arms, 'cause away it comes. After all we say, you think you're smart, but away it comes. Sudden, find the heart you spend. Praise the entertainer and the joy you gave her. Every day you share your life, happy and tries, dancing to no one. Let your arms, 'cause away it comes. After all we say, you think you're smart, but away it comes. Sudden, from the heart you come solace, I'm way down, silent, fade out, and the old wind consoling, tired skin folding in the garden, your gambles, sweat swallowed by brambles, when the cycle
Special thanks again to Lisa Conway, a.k.a. Elcon, for being on this, the 403rd episode of Creative Control, which is part of the Entertainment One podcast network and is available on all iOS and Android platforms and also on things like Spotify, YouTube, and Audio Boom as well. If you can't find an episode that you're looking for, if you want to just learn more about me and sign up for my regularly scheduled newsletter, all of the information that you desire is available at my website, vishkhanna.com. You can like Creative Control on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at VishCreative, or follow me at Vishkhanna. You can listen to a radio show version of Creative Control on Wednesdays at noon Eastern Standard Time around the world at CFRU.ca, or on an actual radio at 93.3 FM if you're in or near Guelph. I can't promise they'll all be lovely, dynamic, live-to-air broadcasts like the thing I did with Elcon here, but sometimes things happen on the radio show. Sometimes it's just the podcast, but sometimes we do some stuff. It's fun. So check us out at CFRU.ca or 93.3 FM on the radio. Also, please consider visiting patreon.com/Creative Control to make a flexible monthly donation to keep this podcast going. And for your efforts, for your generosity, I'm happy to send you perhaps a T-shirt. A T-shirt is the merch I still have for the show, but maybe there's something else. I have some records I need to get rid of, some books. Maybe we can work something out. Just pledge to the show and then send me a message on Patreon and we'll work it out. Thanks again to all the in-kind sponsors and supporters of this show. Pizza Trokadero, The Bookshelf, and Planet Bean Coffee, Grandad's Donuts, and Planet of Sound. Thank you very much. Thanks to my old pal Jim Guthrie for letting me use the instrumental version of The Rest Is Yet to Come to end the show each and every week. JimGuthrie.org for more information about him. And last but not least, thanks to you for listening to this program and subscribing to the podcast on whatever platform you have. Do you have this Google Podcast app that just launched? I don't have it. I don't have an Android phone. I don't know if my show's there. Let me know. If you hear this and you have that, let me know if it's there. I can't check. Anyway, thanks for listening to the show however you listen to it. And if you can download episodes, that's great. If you can tell your friends about it, that would be excellent too. And give it nice ratings and reviews and all that stuff. It all helps. And that is all I have to say. I will talk to you very soon. Bye for now.